Got it. So the microphone should be working. Hello. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I can't tell. Can't tell. 1, 2, 3. Hmm. Got it. Edit. Details. One. You're seeing the claps, but I'm not seeing any levels rise. So I'm assuming that I can be heard. Let me see. Um, where is a link for me to share? Oh, yeah. Send me streaming tips right now. Sure. While I'm doing it. How do I share this stream? There you go. Let's see. Live streaming. Also share audio. Share. I don't want to share that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know if anyone can hear me because let's see. I'll do this. Facebook. Yeah, I hope people can hear me. I'm going to check it out right now. And then we'll get started. Now I see why the YouTubers are always going goofy on here. About to get double audio. If the audio is working. Yep. Hey, everybody. Yep. Audio is working, and I am live. This is You Talk It. We Bring It. You know, I'm going solo these days. My other guys are in Massachusetts. I'm hoping they're doing well. I'm going to try to bring people on live a little later. Right now, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite podcasts, and I'm going to pull up a list right now. Let's see. This is live, so forgive me for anything that goes wrong. Let's see. So I have a lot of favorite podcasts from a lot of different people that I've been collecting over time that I would like to share with everybody. And if you guys would like to share with me your favorite podcast, please put it all in the chat box. That would be great. I can share that with other people. I'm going to, let's see, go to my Google Documents. Where are they? Here they are. And look up my favorite Podcasts. It's not in here. Huh. Oh, there they are. Okay. I've been looking for it all day. So Bows versus the World, that podcast is wild. She talks about like true crime court shows and live reaction to those kinds of things. She's a little wild, and she likes attention, obviously, because she's a YouTuber. And I recommend it. It's very fun, and she's more caring. You know, if you're more, she's not like a hater. You know, say she leans more towards social justice warrior, some kind of ways, but it's okay. Everybody's got their own ways, but it's very entertaining. Um, and maybe not social justice warrior, because she believes in the justice system and all that stuff, but she wants good for people. That's what I'll say. Bows versus the World is a great podcast. You'll have a lot of fun watching it. Next, Michelle McDaniel. She is like what E used to be when it was good. She talks about a lot of the fat phobia versus living healthy and like the drama that goes along with social media. I catch it once in a while. She's very entertaining. She does cosplay and stuff. She works out. That's why I was interested in following her. I'm kind of a nerd, and I saw the cosplay and the fitness. You know, I never really done the cosplay before because I just haven't had the nerve to get up to it and put that much energy into it. You know, once I wore a hockey jersey somewhere, you know, I've been to the events, you know, so I don't know. It's very interesting. She also wants the good for people as well. And, you know, Nord Jasmine, she's back to, you know, the true crime. She puts on a tinfoil hat that says "Hear me out," and she talks about some cult type things, and she's got a soothing voice, very interesting approach to some creepy, weird shit. I don't know what to tell you. You should definitely check out Nord Jasmine's YouTube. Maya Muse, she has a podcast called Rate My Cult, and she does it with goat heads. And the YouTube channel and the podcast is very different because it's different formats. Um, so she's very independent and strong minded and like so what kind of mentality. She's doesn't take a side. She just has fun with it, and it's a nice approach to stuff that's kind of a little off the rails. You know, it's not just talking about Scientology, it's talking about other cults, and she does deep dives. Like, she really invests time in getting into why people end up joining these type of things, you know. It's very interesting. I can't explain it as well as she does. So go to Maya Muses and look up Rate My Cult and start there. That's what I recommend. She has other things. Um, Rotten Mango. Rotten Mango is very similar to My Muses and Nor Jasmine, but it's more of a storytelling approach to horrible, horrible things. And it's a lot of foreign to US stories. So it's things that you would never really hear out here. And they do touch on some US things, like they're touching on poor choice of words. They're talking about Jeffrey Epstein and that kind of stuff right now. And one of the things that was very interesting recently is they were talking about um, squid and how there's a lot of human trafficking involved in that. And this boat came back, and everybody there was just gallons and gallons of human blood and dead people all over the boat. Um, and it was a horrific story. Um, it's you really got to hear these stories. There was movies made on Netflix over some of these stories, not directly from Rotten Mango, but the South Korean stories are getting told more and more, like what they do to students and what students do to each other. The bullying there is very different from here in America. Usually we beat people up and then become best friends or whatever. There's a lot of darkness in the bullying and parents covering things up. It seems over there from what I've seen in Rotten Mangoes. But I don't want to stereotype one place. I'm sure there's good, but these stories, there's a lot of cringe, but it's very, very entertaining the way it's told. So check out Rotten Mangoes. I'm going to get into some wrestling podcast. Steven Larson, they do a great job breaking down some things. It's very Siskel and Ebert type. One guy bounces off the other guy, and they have different personalities. Uh, for me, it's one of my favorite podcasts. I enjoy watching them talk, and I throw it on while I do some errands, that kind of thing. And, you know, they do predictions, top tens, those kind of things. It's very fun. And they do a little bit of a long format here and there. So that's better for me while I'm trying to get things done. The official Jim Cornette podcast and his other shows. I like Jim Cornette. I'm an old school wrestling guy. I like the old wrestling. I like the new wrestling. I agree with Jim Cornette that a lot of people are doing crazy things for the sake of doing crazy things. I would like to see less risks for injuries. So every time Charlotte Flair gets on the top rope, I get scared for her life because I don't think she's that great at a moonsault. That's my opinion. You can yell at me later for it. I just don't see it. What Culture? I love What Culture. They talk about a variety of things. So check them out. Wrestling, comic books, very nerd stuff. Mentioning Comic Books Explained. It's catches you up. I had bad experiences going into comic book stores, and it's like they treat me like I'm not one of them, and it makes me hard. It makes it hard for me to buy anything. And my experiences, like, I want to be part of the culture. I've been part of the culture my whole life, but it's like there's this weird gatekeeping mentality that, like, you walk in and you're like, oh, like you're getting snubbed, and it's like weird. Like, okay, where should I start? Like, they should be like I don't know where the X-Men are now. Why, a while back there was X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, X-Men Red, and I like to buy like the whole books after a series is done, because I don't want to read monthly issues. I want to read the whole thing. I want to look at the art. I enjoy the art as much as I enjoy the books and the stories, and I like to be able to get somewhere and not wait a month or longer, because if you know comic books, sometimes the issues can take forever to come out, and comic books explained is a great way to get caught up in things. Comic book cast, great way to get caught up in things as well. They talk about movies a lot, and they're kind of more multifaceted like that. Comic historian is more similar to comic books explained. They do deep dives and full stories, and really get into it. They got a really long format um, stories where they slide across all the images and do character voices. Um, Dope Spills is um, similar to Comic Historian and Comic Book Explained, but told from a Black American perspective. And, it's still comic books, and that shouldn't hold anybody back because it's a different perspective and is really interesting. I really like Dope Spill a lot. It's just coming from like a different perspective from comic book cast and comic historian, comics explained, and it's really, really good. You should watch it. I believe that it's a shorter format as well. Uh, Dungeons and Dragons. There's, I think, Nerdarchy is the place to start. Um, Nerdarchy, they are the guys, Then there's Dungeon Dudes, and they really care about the subject matter, care about the community, and I enjoy them a lot. If you join their Patreon or Discord, they have a lot of free stuff for you. Very good communities for Dungeons and Dragons, for comic books, for wrestling. If anybody has um, things that they care about, please put them in the chat. Studio Binder, if you want to make movies and you want to learn about making movies, it's a great place to start. There's so much information from script writing to pre-production, post-production to lighting. You basically go to college on Studio Binder. It's an amazing movie making site. I'm a filmmaker by trade. Eventually, you guys will get to see more of me doing things like that. I love this art. There is nothing like it. It's really a collaborative art, like the most collaborative art of all, I believe. I think. Um, you know, the most collaborative art in the world is filmmaking, I believe. Let's see. Legal Eagle, a very interesting take on the law and entertainment, and he breaks down things in a way that is entertaining. Philip DeFranco, he's like a news guy. Very fun way of telling the news instead of old people that are going to be dead in a week. Adam Conover, he's kind of news-ish, stand-up comedian, but he's very liberal, but interesting as well. I don't really take sides. I listen to everybody. Um, you got to listen to multiple perspectives. Demi Lee, she's an architect with a cinematic approach to her videos, and she gets into some sci-fi and architecture stuff and goes deep into the architecture stuff as well. So if you like architecture, you like drawing, you like anything in that nature, Demi Lee's podcast is very awesome. So Damilee, Demi Lee Architecture, and with a cinematic approach, it's very, very interesting. Heavy spoilers. It's very entertainment reviews, um, movies, when they come out, real fun. Um, Sometimes they get a little long, but I really like it. If you want, after you watch a movie, spoilers, heavy spoilers, they break down some things that you might have not have seen. Real Rejects, they do a lot of different things like heavy spoilers, but they review movies like that Siskel and Ebert approach that I told you that Steven Larson do. But they seem like best buds and brothers. They do watch alongs. It's really interesting to watch them watch movies together. I like to watch the short versions, not the long format. You can watch the watch alongs with them. They do a good breakdown. Um, I think it's one of them is always crying when it's a sad movie. It's fun to watch them cry. Same thing in cinema therapy. Um, Cinema therapy is a great approach to a YouTube channel. One guy's a filmmaker, one guy's a therapist, and they just break down these films and a filmmaker's perspective and a therapist's perspective. Like the Good Will Hunting episode. I'm from Boston, and it just gave me a new look on filmmaking, and it helped connect like feelings to filmmaking, if that makes sense. I would actually like to do reaction videos to a lot of these guys' content that have been up for a while, and share. Um, Decoding the Unknown. I kind of and and CZ's World. Let's see. I don't remember Decoding the Unknown. Let me just check that link out real quick. Okay, it is what I think. Um, so this guy goes into a deep dive of unknown things. He's a bald guy with a beard, and he has a smooth voice. And like the hollow earth theory, he talks about that, flat earth, those kinds of things. And it's a deep dive. So if you want to hear people's perspectives on that, it's very nerdy and very awesome. CZ's World. It's about horror movie history, and if you like film, you like horror movies, you got to check out CZ's World. He's got a really cool approach to films. Um, Abba and Preach, my favorite reactionary channel. They're always reacting to some social stuff and current events. Preach is always laughing loud, and they're always getting each other. Like they seem like brothers. And they're always talking about how they're not friends. Preach is always like abana, and it's funny because he'll go into speaking French, but it's like you kind of get the gist. And they're from Canada, but they seem more Americanized, and it's weird. I kind of wish they would host a Daily Show. I feel like when the other guy was hosting the Daily Show, the South African guy, it just didn't connect to me, and that's why I stopped watching it so much. It's like I watched it more when the other guys. I like the other guys that were on the show. It just felt more like an outsider's perspective on America, and it's like, yeah. Let's see what this side. Oh, world's most mysterious. What is this one? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys all heard that. The world's most mysterious. So side projects is that same host of um, Decoding the Unknown. So this is about Bigfoot, this that, and different types of things. Let's see, get talking about over here. So oh, I don't know what you can and can't hear, but he's got things like, are they real? Different monsters, never jump in a falling elevator. Um, just different things. Michelle Kyrie, challenge accepted. She does kind of crazy things like joining the circus. The latest thing was Houdini, a Houdini trick. She did boxing, which I don't think is that daring, but I've done boxing and I can take a hit. It's not for everybody. Getting hit in the face hurts no matter what. Um, so, I recommend everybody try that. Not getting hit in the face, boxing. Eventually you'll get hit in the face, but not right away. The training is a good workout. But Michelle Kyrie, she doesn't come up with a lot of episodes. It takes a while. But challenge accepted. Great YouTube show. History with Kayla. It's a foreign show, but it's like Norwegian or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. She does a deep dive on different historical things like archaeological. I'm probably saying the word wrong, but a deep dive on like digs and stuff, and very Indiana Jones-ish stuff, history of the world stuff. Sometimes we got to get out of the U.S. with our own things. Golden Bell Training Bruce Lee channel. That channel is very interesting to me because I grew up with Bruce Lee my whole life. I'm a movie geek. Bruce Lee is the man to me. I think that Bruce Lee is very interesting. I believe physical training is very interesting to me. I was a personal trainer, and I have Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, which is in the muscular dystrophy family. People don't like that. People do like that when I say it, or whatever. Is how I was informed about it as a kid. It's how I inform people about it. The MDA helps my people out. Fitness is important to people with conditions. Golden Bell Training Bruce Lee channel is more about the truth with Bruce Lee and his family, and this guy takes care of the information. He goes out of his way to put on blast people who just make up things. He does a very good job. Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. The channel's Caleb Hammer. I watched how he educates people financially. A lot of times people don't know how they're spending their money. Spending money on coffee twice a day, it's $10 bucks. $10 a day, $12 a day, times 10 is, let's say, 100 bucks every 10 days. That's $300 a month. That's something that you might have missed. $300 a month is a significant amount of money, no matter who you are. You're a millionaire, $300. I think you should know that you're spending $300 a month on coffee. That's the thing. It's okay to spend $300 on coffee if you got it, but to be financially illiterate, you can lose everything in a minute. I lost a lot having my medical conditions, and I'll get into that on another episode, or maybe later today. When you go through life disabled, you also going to get trapped into specific income requirements to keep your health insurance in the United States, because the way healthcare is, at least in my situation, because not every job pays $1 million, and not $1 million, not 100, whatever. You can go from making $300,000 a year, 200,000, 100,000 to 80, to making nothing because you got sick, and that can happen to any of us at any time, especially with our diets and it's like, now I sound like Michelle McDaniel in her podcast, but you are what you eat. And a lot of times we don't even know what we're doing to our bodies. A lot of times it's our own genetics that are coming after us. I'll talk about that more in a little while. I'm going to take a break for about 20 minutes to try to figure out something. So I'll be back. You talk it, we bring it.